If you're having paranormal issues, contact us at mwghosthunters.com. From the files of the Midwest Ghost Hunters.
All right, Midwest Ghost Hunters site investigation, recorder 1.
Oh, Dustin, right there. Something just moved behind you.
Yes, it did.
What the was that?
What happened?
Something touched my ear, man.
What's that?
This is Dark Matter with Midwest Ghost Hunters.
We're at Pythian Castle in Springfield, Missouri, and I was just looking. I got to be careful. I can't say too much here, but I just. You see what I Googled there? I just Googled cult, and then the town that we've been talking about, having a cult. And one of the first things that popped up was that town is listed on Reddit's list of towns with mysterious cult-like vibes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We're not going to spend a lot of time talking about that, but I just thought it was weird that they did pop up. Another thing that kind of came up when I was looking here, we may have talked about this, I don't remember. The government confirms investigation into paranormal activity at Skinwalker Ranch. Did we talk about that?
We've talked about Skinwalker Ranch.
I know we've talked about the ranch. I didn't know if we talked about the fact that there's an official government investigation underway.
We talked about the Pentagon, spending money over there.
Yeah, and we knew that the Department of Defense owned part of it, but this story is new, and they're investigating reports of shadow figures, creatures, and human consciousness anomalies, which I'm not sure exactly what that refers to.
Well, we live in the Ozarks. I see human consciousness anomalies all the time.
Yeah, but here's the weird thing that I was going to bring up about this Department of Defense investigation at Skinwalker Ranch is they have hired psychics to study interdimensional phenomena believed to frequently appear there.
They should get their money back.
The final report, I guess they completed the investigation, is 70 pages, and I don't know what that report says. We don't have access to that, obviously. We do have some EVPs that we were going to play today that we've caught here in the castle while we do the podcast. It's kind of a weird cycle we get in. We've spent the past couple of weeks playing EVPs from an investigation, and then during the playing of those EVPs from a home investigation, we get EVPs happening in the castle where we are doing the podcast. So John's isolated some of those, and we're going to run through a few of those. Just a few of them. Some of these are pretty good. I do want to. I don't know whether we should start. Which one should we start with?
Any of them are fine. I think that the okay one is really good.
Let's start. Yeah, I kind of want to start with that one. I don't know if these guys have even heard it yet. And it took me a couple of listens, and then once I heard it, it's all I could hear. Let me go ahead and play it, and then we'll kind of point it out after it plays through.
Same owner.
It's the same owner. They've just had more activity. Did you hear something?
Yeah, there was an okay.
So when I played that just now, I wasn't ready and I didn't hear it. But it's near the beginning, right?
Right, almost on top of just starting.
And you're going to hear something say okay.
It sounds like Mr. Boots, the voice that we have caught in the tunnel, and the guy that has appeared in the other room over there. And by the way, we were in the other room. We're now moved back over to our newer podcast area, but we were in the other room last week, and that's where we caught him before.
Didn't we catch him whenever we investigated the castle, too?
Yes.
Let's go ahead and play it again. We'll have to play it a couple of times before probably you're going to pick up on it. It's right near the beginning. Let's do it again.
Same owner.
It's the same owner. They've just had more activity. Did you hear it in the back that time?
It's okay.
Right after one of us says...
I'll point at you.
Right after one of us says same owner, and I may need to turn it up a little bit.
Same owner.
It's the same owner. They just... Right there at the very beginning.
Okay.
Right after same owner. Let me do it with both ears in one more time.
Same owner.
It's the same owner. They've just had more. So anyway, there's that one that we caught. I'm going to move on down here to the bigger bunch that you sent. Oh, there's a bunch. Let's go ahead and start here. Brought him a sour gummy worm rain.
I'm kind of new to the energy drink thing.
Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, same thing. It was the same thing again. Do it again. Brought him a sour gummy worm rain.
I'm kind of new to the energy.
It was
drink thing.
It was right there. Did you hear it in the background?
Was it like a baby? Was it a baby crying? What am I hearing?
I don't. Let me do it again. Brought him a sour gummy worm rain.
I'm kind of new to the energy drink thing.
You're like, yeah.
I hear a higher pitched.
Oh, do you?
I don't hear that.
Really?
Yeah.
Last time. Brought him a sour gummy worm rain.
I'm kind of new to the energy drink thing.
I just hear
I hear
yeah.
Same thing I did before.
It sounds like a cartoon sumo wrestler to me. Let's play another one. Cage.
I don't know. They were in there.
Did you hear that?
I did. That.
Yeah. Okay. Was that one of us imitating it there at the end too?
It was me.
I I know that one was you, but was the other one? Okay, hang on. Let's do it again. Cage. I don't know. Okay, that's the one we're talking about right there at the beginning. Cage.
I don't know. They were in there.
Did you hear that?
I did that.
Yeah. While you did it, though,
I did it again. While I did it, while I was getting ready to do it, it did it. It came right over the top of me. I didn't even hear that.
Let me do it one more time. Cage.
I don't know. They were in there.
Did you hear that?
I did that.
Yeah.
It does it right over me.
Right
That wasn't
before
me.
you.
Yeah, that wasn't
Yeah.
me. There for a minute, I thought maybe we were both imitating it, but then I started talking, so it wasn't me. I usually don't imitate them. I usually leave that to John. Let me do it again. I thought I just that's so confusing because I said let me do it again. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one here. Here it is. Let me do it again. I thought I just heard something.
Me too. That's why I was.
Oh, I just heard it again.
Yeah, it was a.
Yeah, I just heard that again. I didn't hear it that time.
No, I'm not hearing it.
One more time. Let me do it again. I thought I just heard something.
Me too. That's why I was.
Oh, I just heard it again.
Yeah, it was a.
Yeah, I
didn't hear it the second time, but I do hear it the first.
I can hear it faintly on the first one. Okay, let's see what we got on here. Of that, as we did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Okay, did you hear it? I didn't hear it that time. I didn't hear anything on there. Of that, as we did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Okay, yeah, I did hear something back there. It's the sumo wrestler again. Here we go. Now this is one that everyone apparently hears.
Did you hear that?
That was whispering.
Ty got that one.
That was whispering. That's a Class A EVP
Pretty
right
clear.
there.
I'm gonna listen again.
Didn't hear it.
I wasn't ready for it to be.
It's right. I mean, I've got the whispering right. It just as soon as he pushes start, you're gonna do it. That sort of thing. That's what you're gonna hear.
Here it comes.
Did you hear that?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Whispering. Was whispering.
I heard it
Ty-
that time.
Yeah, I heard it at the very beginning.
Hear anything? Turn me up.
Hang on, hold it. Hang on. We're
turn.
going to take you to Ty level.
Emma, you want me to play that one again, or just move on?
Oh, that's
Okay,
me.
how about that,
That's
Ty?
me. That's me.
Oh, sorry. I got the wrong guy.
Shit.
Sorry. They switched seats on me. I was taking him to Ty level.
How do you live?
Okay, how about that?
That's me.
How about that? Okay. Sorry, I had the wrong guy. Ty, how's that?
Will it go any higher?
Oh, it'll go higher, brother.
That's good.
How about there? I got more room. I just don't, more.
Now that I've got a taste of it, it's incredible.
You want me to play that one again?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's right at
hear
the very
that?
beginning. Right at the very beginning.
Sounds like when a cartoon character whispers something and they don't want you to hear what it says.
Yeah.
Exactly what it sounds like.
Okay, and I'm going to see what the growl sounds like. The best ones. And we'll get those up on the website. I heard that. I'm going to do it again. The best ones. And we'll get those up on the website.
That almost sounds like you clearing your throat.
It kind of does.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't hear someone clearing their... Let me try it again. The best ones. And we'll get those up on the website.
Is that how you clear the throat?
It sounds more monstery than that.
I don't know.
Maybe
We can leave that one up in the air. Here's another whisper.
that we caught in the empty house.
This sounded like a robot.
Yeah.
I'm going to play it again. I think we were talking about Mr. Kusich there, if I recall.
That we caught in the empty house.
This sounded like a robot. I hear the whisper back there.
I think I heard something.
Let's see if you can EVP. Okay, this is an EVP that happened while we were playing an EVP on the podcast.
Oh god.
This was an
remember
EVP. We caught an EVP while playing an EVP on a podcast about EVPs.
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
What was that?
Did I put the wrong thing in there maybe?
Maybe.
You can find that on the one of the podcasts, the last podcast we had done. It came in while we were playing an EVP. The live mics here caught an EVP because we played it back the second time and it wasn't there.
That may have just been the wrong piece that was uploaded. Let's go ahead and play. Let's play this one. That was the recorder that was down. Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard. Did you hear something? Yeah, heard at the beginning. Let's try another whisper.
Is it possible it could be a heating or air or vent or something like that?
I hear a whisper back there. Let's see what we got here. So we got several here, and just to explain what exactly we're doing, we get EVPs in our mics, which is fucking nuts, because that really shouldn't happen.
No, it should not.
The first time we discovered that this could happen was whenever we used to do our podcasts from investigations. And we were doing an investigation and we had our podcast equipment set up and we realized that we were getting more EVPs through our microphones than we were in the actual equipment we had set up, which makes no sense because the microphones aren't designed to pick up ambient sounds like that.
They're designed to reject it, actually.
So we were amazed, first of all, that could happen. But now that we've realized that happens, it happens when we're in here at Pythian Castle all the time. So when we're doing just a podcast like we did, the past couple of weeks about our investigation at Ashley's place, when we're doing a podcast like that, we get these random damn EVPs that just chime in and pop up throughout, and then playing all that back becomes very confusing. Like I said last week, I was listening to our podcast one day when I was headed to work, and I was listening to it. I was like, why the fuck do I keep saying that? And then I realized we were just playing a clip from the podcast where there was an EVP, and we played it several times. So that's where it gets a little confusing, is determining where we end and where the EVP from a podcast begins. So we've got a couple more here we're going to play, if you can kind of manage to mentally separate us from the recording. Let's go ahead and play this one right here.
Doing a Yoshi impression.
Well, I don't know. The thing you got to remember is
I heard a no.
Yeah.
Okay, do it again.
Doing a Yoshi impression.
Well, I don't know. The thing you got to remember is
you don't hear it? I'll point at you this time.
Doing a Yoshi impression.
well, I don't know. The thing you got to remember is
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
See, I like that one because some of these other ones, like you set up in the air.
Yeah.
Because it could be.
It could be. Yeah, it could be.
But I don't think any of us are going, no.
No. This is one John and Dustin heard. Was it this part?
What was that?
Right.
What was that?
Did you hear that? Female? Hunter heard it. He thought it was pretty funny.
Let's do it again. Was it this part?
What was that?
Right.
What was that?
Did you hear that? Female? I like that one too, because again, none of us are doing that.
Doing what?
Just not on purpose anyway.
Whatever that was.
I can't even do that.
That's pretty high. That's a pretty high octave.
Yeah,
Yep.
I can't.
That's pretty high. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Here's some more whispering. Let's see what this one is.
It's the same.
Oh, I gotcha.
Let me. I heard it back there.
Yep.
It's the same.
Oh, I gotcha.
Let's do two more. Here we go.
If I think.
I know, and it's actually very got time. Let me listen again.
If I think.
I know, and it's actually very got time. I can't hear it in there that
Yeah,
time.
it's hey right here. Look at me. Look at
Larry
me.
the Cable
I'll show it
Guy.
to you. Hey.
Okay, are you ready?
If I think.
I know, and it's actually very got time. I did hear it that time. It does sound like Toe Mater.
It's
All right.
like hey.
One more. Here we go. It's a whisper EVP. Sex ghost order.
Yeah.
Let me do that again. Sex ghost order.
Yeah.
That's
Way back there.
yeah, I can hear something back there. I can't, kind of like Dustin said a minute ago, I can't determine what that is. If that may be one of us, or if that's okay. Okay, did we play the here? I don't think we've talked about this one because this is the first one you sent.
Right. Well, and there's the big group I sent, and then the week before that we also hadn't sent.
Yeah, and I want to play this one because I don't know if these guys have heard it, and I don't want to build it up too much because I remember listening to it on my phone with the speaker up to my ear. But here, let me play this one real quick. Okay, what is that? What the fuck is that? Is that a EVP from Ashley's house?
Yeah, that's an Ashley.
Did we
house one.
play that?
No, that's one I sent you that we missed.
Okay, so this is an EVP, I guess, that snuck in that we'd missed playing the first time around. And you can hear a female voice. We can't be sure exactly.
It's the sex ghost is what it is. It's that.
Yeah.
But she's saying something. I don't know what she's saying.
I know. I want to play it again and see if anybody can pick up on what she might be saying here, because this is definitely an EVP. I know on a couple of the ones we just played, we're like, well, that might be, Tyler clearing his throat or, this or that. This one is definitely a female voice capture from a home investigation that we did. And try to listen and see if you can determine what.
We do have Melissa and we do have Bobby both at the house, but this is not them.
Right. They were there. Yeah. See if you can determine what she might be saying here.
I pick one.
Yeah, let me do that one more time.
I hope not.
Let me do that again. I can't zoom in on that one. I can't tell.
Dustin, any idea?
Do it one more time. I don't.
Ty, do we need to take it to extra Ty level so you can?
All right, here we go.
I think she says I pick one.
I think she says toxic wound.
Hunter?
I heard I'm the one.
Oh, that could be.
Okay, I like that better.
Let me do it again. Here we go. I can't tell. But that's a good capture on that one. So I guess that one's one of the EVPs that actually came out of.
Yeah, and if you go back, there was another, because in previous podcasts,
Yeah, I've got them right here. Yep.
And I think there was another Ashley one I missed too.
Yeah, I've got those here as well.
That's a good one.
There's a couple here that are from the house, and a couple here that are from the podcast. Let me just go at them in order here.
Score.
Hearing growls from
Did
no.
you hear that?
Do it again.
Score.
Hearing growls from no.
Did you hear that?
No, I don't.
You don't hear the it's like the deep breath thing? Mm-mm. Okay, do it again. One more time.
Score.
Hearing growls.
You didn't hear it right there?
Kind of.
Okay. Let's go on to the next one. The most sensitive recorders have been gone through. Did you hear something?
Yes, I did.
Did you hear that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what the hell was that?
Yeah.
I didn't hear
Very
it.
beginning.
Okay, very beginning. Let's do it again. The most sensitive recorders have been gone. Yeah, it was while I was talking.
Yeah.
Okay, cut that. All right, let's go on. Let's go to the next.
I think
I know, and it's actually very. I don't hear anything on that one. Let me do it again.
I think
I know, and it's actually very. Let's do the last one in this group.
Okay, are we supposed to make sure? Going in my mouth, man.
I was really hoping you.
I think I heard something right there.
That was me snapping.
No,
That's where I'm hoping
no.
to hear.
I can't go in the bedroom next to you, but I can go in that one. I don't think we have a recorder in here though.
We've got
I'm going to do that again. So
This is so much going on that it's.
This is the one. This is one of the ones from inside the house. So let me do that one again.
Okay, are we supposed to make sure?
It was that, right?
I think somebody laughed.
That's me.
No, not the laughing. Right before that. Maybe not. Let me play the whole thing.
Try it
through.
again.
Okay, are we supposed to make sure? Going in my mouth, man.
I was really hoping you.
I think I heard something right there.
What was it you heard?
I think it was before that. Go back. I'll point to you. There's a kind of thing.
Okay.
Okay, are we supposed to make sure? Going in my mouth, man.
Okay. So it was behind.
I was really hoping you.
I think I heard something right there.
That was me snapping.
No.
Okay. Here is one more. Let's go ahead and play it. Did you make up your own language?
That was me.
Oh, it was.
What did you say?
I don't know.
He said Borgluf? I didn't. Where was it? Was it at the beginning? Let me do it one more time. Did you make up your own language?
That was me.
Oh, it was.
What did you say?
I don't know.
He said Borgluf? Oh, okay. I hear what you're pointing at. That's when Hunter decided to create his own tongue. That'll wrap those up anyway. I've got a lady I've got to call back. I've got to call her back very soon about. Well, we've got two people. We've still got to decide what we're going to do about the guy who has the what is it? The people next door that are in the cult. Is it a cult? Is that the right word? I can't even think of. Yeah, they're in some kind of thing. Remember where they think his daughter now has some kind of like demonic possession or something.
The person we're going to investigate's daughter?
Yes. Remember she was baking bread?
Possessed?
We talked about this when she was baking bread with the neighbor kid next door.
He might not have been here
Yeah.
for that. I don't remember if he was there.
And then they come to find out that the people next door live in some kind of or part of some kind of cult. So the people next door live in some kind of weird like religious cult or something. And then after the boy came over and helped the daughter bake bread, she started having weird things happening and weird things in the house. And then they found out, after that these people are in some kind of weird, cult thing. And he's wondering if there's like some kind of attachment that has made it to their daughter from this kid, I guess. I didn't fully know how to connect all the dots on that particular email, but I did read the email he had sent. But what he's looking for is he's looking not for not for anyone to come in and make confirmation that they have activity like we typically do. He's wanting someone to come in and help.
We're really the wrong people for that. You need to get a priest or somebody that does that.
We can offer help in the way that we can say, hey, we had that too. You're not crazy. We experienced that as well. We can offer that kind of documentation help, but we can't
We're
come
not
in.
Ghostbusters.
We can't stuff anything in a box and take it with us.
It'd be cool if we could.
So that's where I get stuck, is he's looking for active assistance, and I don't know that we can provide. I know we can't. The kind he's looking for. So that's why I kind of get stuck on that one. While it would be cool to do the investigation, it's not necessarily the recipe he's looking for us to come in and just document.
He's not wanting us to come in and say, "Yep, you've got problems."
I don't think so. I think he's wanting to come in and remove.
Sprinkle some salt in some corners type
and that
thing.
goes against everything that we do. There are groups out there who will do that.
There's lots of groups that will sprinkle some salt.
They'll sprinkle, sea salt. They'll make salt circles. They'll
burn some incense. Yeah, incense. Incest. Jesus Christ.
Burn some incense.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
All right.
They'll burn some.
What was that? Did you hear that?
I didn't hear it.
Behind that?
You trying to distract from what you just said?
No, there was like a.
Did you hear that one? Did you hear that one?
Is it my mic stand?
I don't know.
That's a pretty weird sound, but I don't think
Your
so.
mic stand is making a voice.
Anyway, yes, you could burn some incest.
Incense.
You can make some.
What the?
Did you hear that?
Wow.
Yeah.
You
didn't hear that?
It seems to not like the word incest.
That almost.
That sounded very clear.
That was so clear.
That was.
I never hear them that
was there.
clearly. And I know that wasn't a mic stand moving.
Definitely
It was
not.
like whispering.
I'm going to have to say incest again. Anyway, back to the point. A lot of groups will come in and do, they'll put the salt in around the perimeter, or they'll put crystals, or hell, I can't even think what they do. Holy water, maybe. But we don't do any of that. So I don't know. I mean, I hate to refer this one away, but we'll probably have to pass on it, but simply because, not because we're not interested in what we might experience in there, just simply because we can't offer what he's looking for, which is the kind of, the exact kind of thing that we don't do. And then we have another one I need to get a hold of. The one I was referring to when I first said I've got someone I need to call back is the lady down in Battlefield. Yeah.
I reach out to the lady I know who's had a sister who lived in Battlefield, and they had all kinds of activity. She says that there are a number of houses there that all have this same activity in the same area, that it's not just isolated to one house, that a lot of them have that.
What that being what? Just like activity. Normal?
All kinds of activity, all kinds of seeing of shadows. I've been trying to get her on the podcast to tell us this sort of stuff, and she couldn't do it today because they're traveling, but she says she would. She would like to know the address.
Do you know her address?
I do not.
Okay. I will ask, because I've got to call this lady back anyway, and I will ask what I'll get an address from her. But I am going to call her back. Her name is Holly. So we'll get back in touch with her.
And the lady I've talked with doesn't want any publicity, doesn't want to talk about any of the paranormal stuff. I mean, she'll talk about it with us, but she's not a fame seeker. This is not somebody who wants to make up stuff to sell books or anything else. She really did.
Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
That?
Yeah, she doesn't even want to talk about it because, I mean, she'll talk about it with us on here, but this isn't somebody who is a fan who is really wanting to chat it up.
Are you okay?
Just allergies, man.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, is it bothering you? How do you hear that?
How do you not?
How do you hear clearing my nose and
Yes, we want to have her on. It would be cool if there was some kind of connection between these two. I'm not going to hang my hat on it, but there is a chance. I mean, Battlefield's not that big.
And she says there's a lot of homes in that activity, a lot of homes in that area that have activity because her sister talked with other people.
I wonder why. That would be interesting to figure out. Anyway, I will call Holly back. I said I'd call last week, and it got so nuts, I couldn't do it. I wasn't able to do it. But I will call her back and get in touch, and we'll set something up. We need to set it up quickly because Dustin's going to have a baby. Well, you're not.
I'm not.
But you're going to have one in the house suddenly.
Yeah. I'm not delivering the baby. My wife is, but there will be a baby.
And that's coming up pretty soon.
Very soon, yeah.
Like in the next week.
Like imminent. Could happen right now.
Could have already happened.
Might be
She
happening.
didn't think, she didn't want to bother you.
Just tell her to wait.
Yeah, she's got to wait till we finish the podcast. I mean,
But anyway, so yeah, we're gonna get back in touch with Holly and get something set up. I just went to Yellowstone a couple of weeks ago, and I looked yesterday morning, and on the news, not the paranormal news, just on the news, there was a story and a picture of a Bigfoot footprint that was found in the exact area that I had just been in.
Was it your footprint?
Who?
Was it your footprint?
It was not mine. I wore shoes the whole time. There it is on one of the Yellowstone trails. Bigfoot footprint.
you know, on the Paranormal Witness show, they have an episode of
several,
that.
yeah.
The one I watched, it was a deputy sheriff who went up and saw what could be described as Bigfoot. This is a deputy sheriff. And so then he chases it through the woods, and then it ends up chasing him back. And he comes back to town, doesn't want to tell anybody because he doesn't want everybody to think he's crazy. Sits down and talks to the sheriff about it. And the sheriff says, don't tell anybody about what you just saw up there. But we've had a lot of law enforcement people, and then he gives an exact description back to the guy about what he just saw.
I've seen that. And the reason we're even bringing it up is because for a long time, what happened?
Whispering.
Oh, I didn't hear it. Tyler heard it, and none of the rest of us did.
That's weird.
It was in his head.
For the longest time, Paranormal Witness, which is my favorite paranormal show of all time, the episodes kind of went missing because Sci-Fi sold all that stuff over to Travel Channel, and then it kind of fell off the Travel Channel app. But now they have been picked up on Peacock. If you've got the Peacock app, they've got every episode of Paranormal Witness. Some of them are called Extreme Paranormal Witness. Some of them are called Paranormal Witness, something like Terror or something. I can't remember. But anyway, they have all the episodes now. And I told these guys last week when we podcasted, I was like, you got to start watching Paranormal Witness.
And I did.
Because it's so good. And, you know, they vet through all these stories so deep until they can't, further explain it. And then they make an episode of it.
And this deputy sheriff that went up there did not want to make a book, or he wasn't trying to get any fame out of this.
Well, and that's kind of like the one with the UFOs in the sky.
Right.
Speaking of UFOs in the sky, just yesterday there was a mass sighting in California.
Really?
Yeah. If you look at it, like you can Google it, just do like mass UAP sighting or UFO sighting in California. There's a couple videos out, but there's not as many videos as you'd think. You know, everybody always says like, why aren't there good videos? Why aren't there good videos? And our phones are great, but they're not great at taking pictures of lights in the night sky.
No, they're not. Anybody who's tried to take a picture of the giant moon knows that.
They're not good. They're blurry. Like, and that's far away, and so it gets pixelated, and it's just not.
There's a lot of reasons why our cameras can't really capture well lights in the sky, because you're pointing at the night sky trying to capture moving lights. I get that. I get a lot of UFO videos are going to be a little out of focus. What I'll never understand is how you can be 12 feet from a fucking Bigfoot and, number one, not manage to hold your camera steady for 1 second, and number two, not manage to focus it.
I know why. Pick me.
Why?
Because it's fake.
Well, that's what it leads you to believe, for sure. Now, back, if you watch some of these Paranormal Witness shows, you'll see some stories from people like this deputy John was talking about that have no reason.
I believe that deputy. I believe that he saw something up there. Now, was it a gorilla?
I believe he
or
saw
something like
a
that?
bear.
Some of the sounds we've caught, like, first of all, nobody would believe it, even if they hear it. They're going to say fake. They're going to say, oh, you made up those Willard sounds.
Right.
But
yeah.
for example, that scream we heard when we were leaving the house.
Right.
Picture what makes that.
Well, and anybody that's not had that experience,
I have.
I know, but whatever you're picturing.
if you haven't had that experience, that's what you're going to have. My wife was watching Paranormal Witness with me, and her eyes are rolling. She's like, oh, this is all BS. None of this is right at all. And it's like, look, until you've experienced some of that stuff, until you've seen some of that stuff, you don't understand. You really, truly don't understand.
Whatever you're picturing when you think of that thing that made that noise when we were chased out of that Willard house, people would say it wouldn't exist.
There were that investigation in particular changed my mind on several things. So I'm not sitting here saying my mind couldn't be changed regarding the.
I got to be honest
Bigfoot
with you.
stuff.
Before that investigation, I was still on the fence about everything.
I was too.
And we had caught stuff up to that point. Like we had been doing it for a little bit at that point. Like that wasn't one of our first ones,
Yeah.
But in the back of my mind, I was like, I don't know.
Well,
That made me a believer when Chris is sitting there trying to hold a closet door closed and a closet door is opening against him, and then something's laughing saying, "Where are you going?"
That part there, because I was retelling this story to my wife, because she had never heard it before.
Oh, really?
Because I don't talk about this stuff to anybody, really.
Yeah.
And so she had never heard about this famous, because she started listening to the podcast and she'd heard us mention it. So she was asking me about what happened.
Did she smash the like button?
She smashed that like button.
Did she comment and share with her friends? Because she needs to do that.
Yes, she comment, subscribe, thumbs up, all that. But when I was retelling the story, that part is kind of, for whatever reason, the part that my mind kind of stuck to. Because I never really
Are you
thought
talking about
that.
at the very end?
Where are you going?
Yeah, at the end.
Because I'd always just thought about the closet door closing and the banging of the. Remember the kitchen?
Yeah, of course I remember
Like
the
how
kitchen.
it was just banging,
Yeah.
every noise everywhere.
And the weird ass circus music when we came back in the
circus
house.
music. But that part there where there's a guy from the back of the hallway clearly saying, where are you going? Like it was taunting us.
Yeah. Well, and the damnedest thing of that, I don't know how we got on this suddenly, but we'll go ahead and go there. The damnedest thing about that is, number one, we were leaving. We had no recorders going because we were exiting at a very high rate of speed. Number two, it sounded like, whenever you're at someone's house who doesn't have a good organization system for their pans and whatnot, and you open the pan cabinet and they all fall out.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like was happening continuously in the kitchen, but there was nothing visual happening that you could see. And that sound was moving. It was advancing, as we moved. So it's the damnedest thing. I hate to even talk about it because I can't explain.
And then we get outside and we hear the creature.
What you're hearing right now, by the way, is, what is that? What the hell is that?
I hope that's a cat.
Okay, a cat. No, you're talking about that screech.
Yeah.
Now, if you hear that kind of screech and you're out in the woods, it's gonna you're gonna be taken aback a little, be like, what the hell was that? However,
everything ramped up when we were outside. We heard that screech, and then we came back inside after hearing that screech. And Chris is like, I've had enough, and he comes in and he throws down and starts taunting the thing. That's when all hell broke loose, is whenever Chris taunts that thing.
Well, and as far as the screech goes, the point I was going to make is, if you hear that in the woods, it's going to scare you, and you're going to think, what the hell kind of animal is that? However, when that sound comes from out of the house, when we're standing outside on the deck, and that sound comes from inside a home that people live in, it's the weirdest fucking thing ever.
And we're the only humans on the face of the earth who would say, what was that horrible sounding noise? Let's go back in and look.
No, well, to be complete, just full disclosure, I was going back inside to get my shit.
Get our stuff. Our keys were in
so
there.
that I could go home and set up all night with the lights on, rocking myself, trying to figure out what.
When we went back in the house, I remember hearing the screech before it all hell broke loose too. I remember hearing it. We may have heard one at the end as well, but that pterodactyl thing, I remember hearing that before all hell broke loose. We went back in. Chris goes back in and says, so you like to pick on little girls, huh? Why don't you try that stuff on us? Why don't you come out here and do this on us? And then all hell broke loose in that house.
Like, I would like at some point for us to, because I don't think we'll ever really experience anything like that again.
You never know.
Because it's been a long time and we haven't. Nothing's even come close. We've caught good evidence, but nothing's come close to that. We need to write that stuff down. We need to go back and listen and have a timeline.
We could do that.
Because the way that it all went down,
I know that
we smell smoke. I think we caught a burn.
We did.
An EVP at one of those visits.
The burn was in Bolivar.
It said
smells like smoke.
Yeah.
And then the house burns to the ground.
The house burned. Yeah.
Did it also say something like "I'm in the wall"?
That was another. That was them,
place. But that was when they moved to Springfield. So that was still them.
God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was still them. But
I'm
that was
in the wall.
That was still
Springfield
them.
house.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So yeah, all kinds of freaky shit. I mean, in order to write down chronologically exactly what happened,
it'd be hard to do now.
I could do it, but I would have to have you guys there too, because I can't lay it out exactly as it happened.
Because I forgot we went back so many times.
One of us almost needs to start off and here's the way I remember it, and then everybody kind of chime in and say, no, this is what happened. Here's what happened.
Yeah, because we visited him
It was 4 times total, right? 3 in Willard, once in Springfield.
3 in Willard, yeah.
And only one of those in Willard I wasn't present for, and that's the crazy one.
Well, and then the thing also had talked about it made fun of my jacket because I wasn't taking my jacket off.
Yeah, when we were leaving the house, it was the funniest thing ever, man.
But it did. It said, why is he wearing a jacket?
It was like Costanza's corduroys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know whatever happened to that particular EVP either. I remember that. I remember something about it. Something I was like, holy shit, it's talking about a jacket. It's talking about John's tan jacket.
Because everybody else took their jackets off, and I did not in that basement.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I don't know why that was, because until all hell broke loose, we really didn't have any fear. And matter of fact, we thought that the house was fine. Dustin had talked about, I could go to sleep down here right now.
That was when we were in the basement around the pool table.
So I remember why. Yeah. I don't know why.
I don't know.
It wasn't creepy until it was. You remember the sound of the herbs hitting the floor? You remember that?
Herbs?
Like what do they call that? Those baskets full of aroma.
Like potpourri?
Potpourri. Yeah.
Did some what was that?
I heard that.
Did some potpourri get dumped?
Do you remember hearing the sound of it? Like, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Like a rain stick being turned upside down.
Oh yes. That happened when we were. That happened in the living room.
Well, we never figured out what it was.
No,
I was there for that one, and we couldn't figure out what made the noise.
I forgot completely about that, dude. If you hadn't mentioned it, I wouldn't have ever remembered.
They did have potpourri on their mantle, but none of it was disturbed. This sounded like things hitting. Like
I remember that night when all hell broke loose, we went back and we sat in my drive, and Chris said, Ty really wants to go back, and I said, well, he sure can.
We really should have went back before it burned down.
We didn't have much opportunity. It burned down fairly quickly.
I mean, I got to be honest with you. I don't think I could have done it. Sounds that visit there when we got chased out of that house, it kind of fundamentally changed me. Like I had no intention or desire to step foot in there again.
Yeah, I certainly didn't. Yeah, that night
I didn't want to see what closed the closet door on you. I didn't want to, dude. We listened to it again when I was telling my wife about it. We went back and listened to that clip of us leaving the house. It's the creepiest goddamn thing. We've caught better EVPs, but it's just creepy.
That whole
you hear
sequence.
Us exit.
Yeah,
you hear the alarm system. The front door is closed, and then you hear that the way that closet door closes is like out of a horror movie, because it's not just quick, it's slow.
You want me to play it? I got it right here.
Yeah, play it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and
it's my favorite.
Let's go ahead and play that one.
The door here. Come on. Come on. What is it? Come on. The door just closed. What door?
So what happened there is we were all out of the house at that point. We left our recorder behind, and we were investigating that closet in the granddaughter's room where most of the activity was said to happen. And as we left the house, after that door was like pushed against me, that closet door fucking closed. You can hear it close there at the end. It's like we did EVPs with that closet door open, and then we left because the door, we were freaked out a little bit. And then as we left, you hear that damn closet door slide right back closed.
What I'm saying is I understand, right, that it was terrifying, but we are there to document, and that place was 100% haunted.
Honestly, we probably would have gone back, but it burned down really quickly after
like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
I was going to say within a month.
Yeah, it burned down so quick.
I don't know if I would have.
I don't know if I could have gone back in there, especially that fast. I mean, it's easy.
Not that fast,
especially
but I think,
for us to come back in now and say, "Well, we should have just gone back." Baby. That terrified me. I mean, I went out and squatted down in front of my car out there, and I really thought that I was just going to be. That was it. I mean, I literally thought my heart was going to explode that night.
Let me see if you guys remember this one off that investigation. We're not going to dwell too long on this, but since we're on it and I've got it pulled up, let me go ahead and play this one off that we captured on the recorder that was sitting on the fireplace mantle.
Go home.
Yeah, that's the go home. Yeah,
God,
And we
so
did.
creepy.
And we did. And we did go home.
we sure did.
So creepy. These are good too. We're gonna have to rethink about, because our group, we've talked about this. Our group is so large.
Yeah.
It's almost too large, and there's too much cross chatter going on.
I agree.
Between everybody,
yeah.
it makes reviewing EVPs impossible.
Yes,
Like when I
it
was
does.
doing the garage, I listened to 20 minutes and said, "Fuck, I can't do this." Because there's just this conversation.
It's the nature.
I was having I'm guilty of it just as much as everybody.
Yeah, we all are. It's the nature of having 8 people there, and you're standing around in the dark.
This one, there's 3 of us, and it's silence.
Yeah.
And if that had happened at Ashley's when we went there a month ago,
we wouldn't have heard it. Yeah, I agree. I don't know what the solution to that is, other than a shut the fuck up.
We're just going to have to all get together before we go in and say, okay, shut up.
Right.
We can go outside and have conversations after.
It's just
or text it if there's something you need to
That's
do.
true.
It's kind of like what Chris and I were doing that night. Whenever I was texting him saying, "Down, look down, look down."
It's just the nature of the beast. Whenever you've got 4 people gathered, 2 in a hallway and 2 in a bedroom, and one thinks they heard something, right then a whole series of conversations starts kicking off.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? No, I didn't hear that. It sounded like
Yeah,
this is
did you
what
hear
it
that? It
sounded like.
sounded like- well,
This
it
is
could
what
have
I heard.
been.
What did you hear?
While that's happening, we could be getting literal Satan giving us a message in the background, and we would not hear it.
Yeah, you're right. There's so many people now. We're going to have to figure out a way. Texting's a good idea instead of yelling it across. Maybe just start like a group. Well, we already have one.
We could do a Discord group.
We wouldn't need any kind of messaging or just
the text group, right?
or just mark it. Just say there, and then go on about our business.
Yeah, you're right though. There's too much. There's too many dumbasses talking, and I'm one of them.
Yeah.
If you go down and listen in the audio downstairs, we almost had to get rid of everything because of that number of mics across the room.
That's the thing too. We've got so many mics now that everything is caught.
Well, and if you listen, now that I think about it, think back on the last few. Go to Bury Me in Black. This one, any of the more recent ones we've done. Think of the EVPs that we've caught, and think how you have to always say, "Listen, it's right behind." It's right behind Chris talking.
Yeah,
it's right behind Dustin.
Yeah.
If we'd shut the fuck up for a few,
we wouldn't
be behind anything.
Well, and then also, it will help to eliminate if we catch. Was that female voice? Was it Melissa? Was it Bobby? Was this John and Chris having a conversation over here? I agree completely. From the guy who goes through a ton of this audio,
you review more audio than anyone, and it's really hard because you've got that might have been them downstairs,
right?
Well, if the people downstairs would just shut up.
And honestly, this was the problem that I ran into on my recorders from Ashley's house. They do very well in a quiet environment, but when there's people talking, you can't hear jack shit on that fucking thing. You can't even tell what the people talking are saying,
and it really hurts the integrity of some of our EVPs. We've probably missed a lot.
We do need to work on that.
Just a little bit of self-reflection.
Bury Me in Black wants us to come back out there, by the way, so we could, that's one.
The problem with Bury Me in Black. Even without that, even if you could get all of our people to shut up when we're in there, is that you have so much noise contamination from the outside.
Well, I know, but when we were there really wasn't that many people outside. Everything had pretty much closed down over on Commercial Street. Wait, where were we? Is that right?
Commercial. That's right.
Yeah,
that's
okay.
right.
There wasn't a lot of foot traffic over there. There are people. Yes, that's
we can
true.
do it. We can do it. But the thing is, especially if you come in there and you're using those tie mics.
Well,
tie mics will pick up a bug, not just walking, but a bug thinking about walking.
And the later it gets in the evening, the less interference there's going to be from the outside. So that's one that is a good point that we need to take into consideration, because that's true. Every time we play an EVP, it's like, listen, it's right behind Dustin, or it's right behind me.
And listening to these older EVPs really highlights that, I think, because that didn't happen then. Because there's only 3 of us or 4 of us, and we were quiet.
Yeah, so we've either got to give some people the boot or shut the fuck up. That's probably the easier option.
I like them both.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap it up this week.
You might not want to bring it to a vote.
One thing we haven't done in a long time is just a basic review of an investigation. Maybe next week we can come up with one. And
didn't we just do that?
Well, kind of. We didn't hit it all by far. And it doesn't have to be Willard. It can be any of them.
You mean just explaining what happened, what the claims were, and just going through it?
Yeah. We can maybe do that next week. We can go ahead and stop for this week and see you then.
More Dark Matter on the way next week from Pythian Castle in Springfield, Missouri with Midwest Ghost Hunters.